the 7th day of December.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we, as usual, today is a day that is packed with programs. We have your plate filled with mental nourishment. I am Desmond Richards. We are going to be talking. Our first guest this evening is Reverend Garnet Roper. Reverend Roper, are you there?
I am, yes.
Yes. And we are on this ongoing debate about the crime plans.
Yeah.
The listeners and viewers by now would have known that the Prime Minister declared another round of states of emergencies. Yes. And you would have listened to the opposition leader's response to those. So what is your take on the latest move by the government?
Well, the government is all about posturing. So it is not important to them.
I don't know what happened to Reverend Roper. We lost him. We're going to try and get him back on air. And as you know, we are talking about the state of emergency. And he is giving us his take on the government's position. So we're going to get him back on air. Yes. Hold a second, Reverend Roper.
But in every situation, God gave me consolation. That my trials come to make me strong. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I've been to lots of places, seen so many faces. There were times I felt so all alone, but in my lonely hours, those special hours, Jesus let me know that I am His own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all,
Reverend Roper?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you were saying, you were giving your take.
I was saying if it was so cruel,
Yes.
government using the SOEs as a public relation gesture.
Where are you?
Yeah?
Go ahead. I'm hearing you, Go ahead.
Okay. So here it is. There appears to be India's intelligence gathering 300 heavily armed violence producers. But what they do is use these things, just use dead fish and go and just pick up a whole bunch of young people and carry them and keep them in custody for a while.
Yes.
And then when their public relations interest has been exhausted, they end it to release them again. They're trying to build a case. They're trying to arrest them and send them to prison. And they're trying really except to keep a lull in the violence, to solve the underlying violence of this country. And I think that, another round of states of emergencies, another round of trampling upon its constitution, are brutalizing the poor in this country and leaving the guilty and the powerful and the connected to go free.
So you don't see the state of emergency as any tool to address the crime problem?
But the court has already ruled on that, right? And if nothing else, we have our own experience to count for it. They keep it up, and then as soon as they stop, the violence will start back over again. The violence producers know them and push their button, move from one space to another space. But they don't appear to be intimidated by the state of emergency, because they know the government is not building a case against them, and they're not going to be prosecuted as such. They're going to be detained, but not much else. I much prefer what the opposition has proposed. You should say, detain these people, get a court order, detain these people, build a case, and if after 49 days you can't build a case, then let them go.
Yeah. But currently what you are saying
That
is
doesn't solve the problem, The problem is, other than that, there are people who have come through the school system, who the society has produced, who believe is that their only way to get their way is to cause violence and to kill people. Right? We have to show them that we are serious about protecting lives and serious against the violation of law.
yes.
And I don't think they are convinced of it yet,
You're talking about the violence producers.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe soon they will have a kind of strike or withdrawal of service to get amnesty.
I don't understand that. What?
Well, the taxi men
Yeah.
don't disown the fact that they have broken the law and they have tickets,
Yes.
They're just saying the government should forgive them.
No, is that what they are saying? Or they're asking for a time to pay?
Well, the same thing, don't enforce the law against them.
So you are saying that the gunmen will soon declare take a similar position?
In order to get amnesty.
Yes. Well, so in fact, Dr. Roper, you are saying that the states of emergency is not working. It is not addressing the core problem of crime.
Yeah.
The opposition advance a plan.
I'm saying it's not meant to be, but it sounds serious. It sounds like you are serious. So that's why the government is doing it.
Yes.
It borders on fascism, as the leader of the opposition has said. Those who love democracy can't believe in state of emergency.
Yes. But we have a serious situation though. The crime problem is no joke problem, right? Over 1,000.
There are 300.
Over 1,000.
300 people producing. There are 300 violent producers that we are not arresting or we are not stopping. We are taking away their weapons. We are leaving them to do their thing. Not so private corner.
Yes, but I'm saying you have over 1,000 persons who have been killed, murdered, and therefore, it is a very serious problem. So it can't be the government. The government can't just sit by and allow this to continue. Action must be taken to address the situation. Now you are
The state of emergency is not that action to be taken. They need to be arrested and a case built against them. And as Mark has said, the longer we persist in repeating these states of emergency, the less serious we are about building a prosecution. You know?
yes. So
What happened? What the violence, the 1,000 people who are killed are not their families, not their relatives. So that it don't mean as much to them. You know?
yes, yes. You earlier on you had said that you wanted to address another issue. What was that again?
What? Address what?
You said you wanted to address another issue apart from the crime problem. There was another issue that
Well, the squatting, again, another public relations gesture. You're talking about squatting and how much of a problem it is, but nobody's putting on the table land issue. People squat because they don't really have access to owning land of their own. And we're not doing anything to make land ownership easier or more accessible or more affordable. Just talking about this and that and the other.
yes.
So I'm not saying that squatting isn't a complex problem, and it's certainly a big problem. But squatters are not so much interested in housing, as in going where the money is being produced. You know, people in Claremont who are squatting St. Anne's Bay, they don't have problem with land. They want to be in the limelight where the money is being circulated.
Oh, so that's why there are
If you were to,
so many squatter settlement close to the hotel.
yeah, and people came there really in the hope that they'd get jobs.
Yes.
And they just see there. Build their residence there to give themselves a permanent nearness to it. But I said people in Claremont don't have a problem with land. They're squatting St. Anne's Bay.
Yes. Yes. So, and there is a connection between the squatting and crime, because
And the economic opportunity.
yes. So the people are moving close to the tourism centers in order to earn income.
Yeah.
But you are also saying, or would you agree with the point that providing, if you provide people with land is also an economic possession,
Yeah.
and therefore,
If you provide them with land, you have to provide them with other things as well.
yes,
Access to road.
yes,
You know?
yes. But
You have to make them feel like by participating. Operation Pride, that was a very successful project of the government. This is one of the things that we should use to think about this problem of housing.
yes,
Black built houses out of Operation Pride, and
Yes.
they build it near to economic centers.
right. Okay.
But the problem with both the politics and the money in this country is that they built on the notion of exclusion and sure that you keep the people at the bottom out and you're all right,
Yeah.
We have to change that. I just came back from Zambia, and I found that that is the common thread. To keep those out, economic exclusion.
Okay. Yes. So we need some fundamental changes in order to address the problems that we are facing.
And the people know that, I was reading a very interesting document, the Bogues Commission report. And we made the observation that the poor or the masses look at the political parties and realize that they're no longer dealing with fundamental changes.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a decline in participation in the election on both sides.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, okay. Just because you just went down a while ago. Well, Rev, it is clear to all the persons who are thinking about the problem that we need to address these issues. So let us we are going to continue this discussion, but keep it on your agenda that we want to talk again on these matters.
Yeah.
So
all right.
So thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. That was the Reverend Garnet Roper, and he was giving us his take on the crime problem. This is Rebel Radio, and as usual, we keep you informed on what is happening. So let us take a break.
What is to be will be. Come me just a come. Come me just a come and me no want no botheration. Come me just a come. Come me just a come and me no want no botheration. Come me just a come, me said that come me just a come. Me no want no botheration. Come me just a come. Come me just a come and me no want no botheration. Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go to heaven when I die, just to hear Jordan roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. Roll, Jordan, roll. I want to go to heaven when I die, just to hear River Jordan roll. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham. Rock my soul in the bosom of Abraham.
Do it for your best life. Do it. Go check your HIV status. Do it. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it. Do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
Amazing grace, how sweet, sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did the grace I believe I first believed. Are you with me? So amazing grace, how sweet, sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, joy and sneers, I have already become. For was grace that brought me safe this far, and the grace will lead us home. Amazing grace, how sweet, sweet the sound that saved.
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously. with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact Crime Stop today.
God in the day is still God in the night. Life is easy when you're on top of the mountain. You've got peace of mind like you never know. Yeah, but things change when you're down in the valley. Don't lose faith, for you're never alone. For the God of the mountain is still God in the valley. When things goes wrong, He'll make them right. And God of the good times is still God in the bad times. God in the day is still God in the night. You talk of faith when you're on top of the mountain, but talk them easy when life at its best. But it's down in the valley of trials and temptation. That's when your faith is really put to the test. Lord of mercy, for the God on the mountain is still God in the valley. When things go wrong, He'll make them right. God of the good times is still God in the bad times. God in the day is still God in the night. God in the day, yeah, it's God in the night. Lord of mercy, when things goes wrong, make them cry. Yeah, oh fight, Lord of mercy. God in the day, God in the night. All I've got now is oh, to Jesus I surrender. to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him, in His presence daily live. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender. Humbly at His feet I bow. Worldly pleasures all forsaken. Take me, Jesus, take me now. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender. Make me Savior, Holy Christ. Let me feel Thy Holy Spirit. Truly know that Thou art mine. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. Oh, I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender all to Him I freely give. I will ever love and trust Him, in His presence daily live. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender. Humbly at His feet I bow. Worldly pleasures all forsaken. Take me, Jesus, take me now. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender. Make me Savior, Holy Christ. Let me feel Thy Holy Spirit. Truly know that Thou art mine. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. Oh, I surrender. No woman no cry. No woman no cry. No woman no cry. No, no woman. Said I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet. Good friends we have, oh, good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say, and then no woman no cry. No, never gonna woman no cry. No woman no cry. No, no woman. Said I remember when we used to sit. Was a government yard in Trenchtown, and then Georgia would make the firelight as it was logwood burning through the night. Then we would cook cornmeal porridge, of which I'll share with you. My feet is my only courage, so I've got to push on through. But while I'm gone, everything is gonna be alright. 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 Well, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Well, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. So woman, no cry. Oh no, no, don't shed no tears. No, no woman, woman, no cry. No woman, no woman, no woman, no woman, no cry. No woman, no cry.
Right. Right as we speak, the United States government is contemplating right as we speak, the United States.
Here we go. I want you to wave. Woo, 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 woo. Everybody all around. Wave dance. Wave dance. All right. Sing along. One love. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. Hear the children What about the let's get together and feel alright? Sing one love, one heart, bring thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Sing, let's get together and feel alright. One more thing, now let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. When a man comes, there will be no tomb. Have pity on those whose senses roasted. There am no hiding blood from the Father of creation. Say, one love. What about the one? What about the let's get together and feel alright? Say, one love, one heart, we give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Say, let's get together and feel alright. Everybody wave your hands. Come on, move down, press your fading. Keep on waving. Everybody, come on. It's all about the One Love certification, y'all. Come on. All the way in the back. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. When a man comes, there will be no tomb. Have pity on those whose senses grow thin. There ain't no hiding blood from the Father of creation. Say, one love. What about the one? What about the other? I want to see everybody waving. Come on. Hear the children crying. Hear the children crying. We give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. And we say, let's get together and feel alright. Oh, we give thanks and praise, everybody, and I will feel alright. Say, let's get together and feel alright. Oh, we give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Say, let's get together and feel alright. We give thanks and praise. Don't fade on me now. Come on. Everybody. Say, let's get together and feel alright. We give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Move down, press you up, fully One Love certified. We love you all. Till next time, we are the Waving Rastafari. Thank you.
It was I who shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. It was I who shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot no deputy. It goes like this, all around in my hometown. They are trying to track me down. They say they want to bring I in guilty for the life of a deputy. For the life of a deputy now. But I swear, if I am guilty, I will pay. I shot the sheriff, but I swear it was in self-defense.
It's a girl Shensia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yang, everyone see wear a mask, let the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth, you fi cover up that. Oh, 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 oh. Sanitize or get hospitalized. Fight the virus, then fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people you're around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Yeah. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people you're around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
All things are possible if you only believe. Sitting at home, all alone, wondering what tomorrow may bring. He of little faith, dig deeper within. Healing the sick, he raised the dead, he walked on the sea. He worked miracles if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Lord, show me the way to do your will, and I will obey. I wanna be your servant. On my knees I pray. Lord, give me strength to carry on. Please lead the way, because I believe. Yes, I believe. Oh, I believe that all things are possible if you only believe. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. Sitting at home, all alone, wondering what tomorrow may bring. He of little faith, dig deeper within. Healing the sick, he raised the dead, he walked on the sea. He worked miracles if you only believe. Only believe, only believe. All things are possible if you only believe. If you only believe, if you only believe, I do. This is a message, Lord. I've got to say to you, I'm so tired of living a humble and country life. When you were attracted to the bright city lights, you had a lot of money to spend on pretty girls and lovely things, just living it up as if you were a king. You had a whole lot of friends that you treated a vintage boy. But when the money went out,
Hello.
they didn't stick.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear me now?
I'm hearing you very loud and clear, my brother, Lloyd Aguilar, journalist and public commentator. And today we are going to be talking to Lloyd about, this, we are, I don't want to use the word swamp, but we have different crime plans on the table from both the government and the opposition. And Lloyd, what is I know your take, but share your take with my viewers and listeners on these different crime plans.
Well, there is really no crime plan, in my opinion. There are states of emergency, which is not a crime plan, and the opposition is recommending another plan, which is similar to state of emergency. And I don't think that those are crime plans because they don't address the cause and the root of crime. And that is really what the problem is.
Yes.
State of emergency is a temporary thing where you send the police and the soldiers into a community and you do search of people and you put them in the back of a truck and you take them to a detention center and you keep them there. And then, you may release them or you may not release them. And you violate people's constitutional rights by stopping and searching without probable cause. You go into people's house without probable cause. And they claim to have intelligence about gang members and that sort of thing. But it's not credible. And what is happening is that even though they may claim that the state of emergency reduce crime, we still see violence taking place under the very nose of those who are there, enforcing state of emergency. So that is not a crime plan. That is a temporary thing, and it's not a plan. The opposition is not saying anything different. They're saying, well, the police of intelligence have identified 300 people, so 300 men. So you can go and have pre-detention charges and and so on, and then you bring the charges against them. And but do the police really find these 300 men? And why is it that you need a state of emergency if you have intelligence to go and you haven't arrested these 300 men that you say are suspect? So it's not credible. It really doesn't, and people realize that. But some people are comfortable knowing that there are some soldiers and there are some police in the community. So they will say that, yes, we support it. But it's not really that they believe that it is a crime plan. It is maybe there to protect them, they think, but it's not a crime plan. The crime plan is you got to go to the social roots of crime, right? You got to go to the social roots of crime. And that's a question, that's a discussion we're not having. The other day I saw the head of the PSOJ, Mr. Keith Duncan. At first he's in favor of a state of emergency, but then he's trying to come up with a social analysis of what the problem is. And then the problem is education, lack of proper education. But it's not about lack of proper education, or the system has to be improved so that more people can read and more people can write. Yes, that is important. But what I also think contributes so people can read and write is that education is not free in Jamaica. It is not free because at the primary and secondary level, they have to be paying what they call auxiliary fees. And lots of people don't have the money to pay no auxiliary fees. And if you have any contact or you live in an inner city community, you will see lots and lots of children not going to school. They're on the road, they are engaging in, work, or they're just walking up and down the place and playing and that sort of thing. When you have that high percentage of children not going to school because of auxiliary fees and parents can't afford lunch and that sort of thing, then it makes them very vulnerable. Or, it makes somebody giving them a gun very attractive to say, well, boy, if you have a gun, you can, protect yourself, you can make a little money and be part of our group, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. That is what is not being addressed. And it is not being addressed because neither of the two political parties are committed to free education and to properly funding education. They're not committed to that. There has been deficiency on both political parties. And so there's lack of education, there's high unemployment rate in the inner city communities, higher than 20. Sometimes it used to be 25%. I'm sure it's in the high teens right now. And they need to come up with what I call an economic state of emergency. And you go in there and you offer jobs to the young people, and you say, well, all right, if you don't even have a job in a factory, say, well, clean up the community, go and pick up the garbage, go and dispose it, go and help with the building of the roads and the infrastructure, etc., etc. Give them a livable wage. And to me, that is the beginning of what a crime plan is, and none of them are addressing it. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Duncan, for example, his company, JMMB, made a profit of about $12 to $15 billion recently declared in the newspapers. But who gets that $15 billion? A handful of shareholders get that $15 billion profit. And I believe that kind of profit should be taxed in a way in which the money can be used to invest in education and stop, forcing people to pay auxiliary fees to get an education. So the rich and the powerful, they're in favor of the state of emergency, but they are getting away with huge tax breaks, and they will engage in a little philanthropy, and they give away a little this and a little that and a little, computer here and there. But it's all posturing. It's all public relations. It's not a really deep attempt to deal with the social issues that exist. So I believe that until that is addressed, then crime will continue to be a problem. Work, lack of education, and also, I should also mention that guns are coming into the country, right? Who's bringing in the guns? Why is it that the security forces are unable to track down and identify who is bringing in the guns into the country? And who is bringing in the guns in the country, we all suspect are politically connected. Mm-hmm. Politically connected to the state, to the political parties. And they bring in the guns and they never get arrested, they never get tried. And so where you think poor boy out there is going to have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to go buy a gun? They don't have no money to buy no gun. So somebody is giving them guns, giving out guns, right? Mm-hmm. And we need to investigate that as well. And I'll say one more point and kind of pause, and, of course you can ask any other question. But the people in the communities know what is going on. They know who is doing what, etc., etc. And then if you watch the TV news at night, you will see that they say we have problems, but guess what? we don't see the MP from election come, we don't see the MP again. So the election comes, the MP come out and give out a few dollars, and then all the problems arise, and you don't see the MP again. So we have to address that. And I believe that we need community self-government. We need to set up community assemblies or community self-government where the people are the ones themselves that come together as a community, discuss the issues in the community. They know the ones who are involved in crime. They know the ones who are poor and very marginalized, who are not going to school, and so on and so forth. Let them come up with the solutions. And if the state is to be viable, then they will respond to the needs and the demands of the communities. And if they don't, then their own credibility is now at stake. And that will take the thing to another level.
Okay. No, but there is always this question, Lloyd, about funding. That,
yes.
Okay, there is not enough funding to address these issues.
I don't believe... Go ahead.
I am talking about the state now saying that funds are not there. The funds are limited to approach these issues.
Yes, well, of course, they will always claim that the funds are not there. But remember one thing, first of all, Jamaica is one of the most corrupt countries in the world, right? We are high on the Transparency International ranking where corruption is concerned. One of the most corrupt countries in the Caribbean, in the Latin America, Central American region. And it is estimated that billions of dollars per year go into the pockets of politicians and public officials. You read the newspaper every day, you hear that this going on, this at this place, jamming, all of these organizations. And politicians, they get accused of corruption, and they will shuffle the deck and move them from one ministry to the next ministry and so on. So we have to deal with corruption, because the corruption is part of the reason why they can't properly fund the social institutions such as education and health. And my group, the People's Anti-Corruption Movement, has been calling for a People's Commission of Inquiry into state corruption. And I believe something like that is necessary, because we will be able to probe the officials, the companies. We will be able to expose the corruption, and people will see for themselves what is going on. And those people who are involved in the corruption must be held accountable and taken before the courts and appropriately punished for the crimes that they are committed in terms of taking away money from the people and depriving them of their social needs. So we need that. There is also the issue of paying back debt. Of the budget is about $800 billion.
Yes.
Out of that $800 billion, 200 and about 60, 70 billion is paid out in debt.
Yes.
The Prime Minister was in Canada a year or two ago, speaking to Jamaicans in Canada, and he admitted to those Jamaicans that the debt is corrupt. So we also need a forensic audit of the debt to find out what portion of the debt is corrupt and who is pocketing the money, etc., because the people should not be paying back corrupt debt. We should not be paying back corrupt debt. So those things combined. And plus, as I said before, the rich and the powerful are involved in tax avoidance and tax evasion. Politicians have offshore companies. And why are politicians, prominent politicians, having offshore companies? Because offshore companies are a form of tax avoidance. And tax avoidance can be legal. In some countries, it's not legal. In Jamaica, it's legal. Mm-hmm. And then there's tax evasion, tax avoidance, and the rich are not being taxed. For years now, we haven't increased taxes on the rich because the IMF came in here, and the IMF came to protect the rich and the powerful. And the political parties agreed, went along with the IMF, and, just pay back the debt, pay down the debt. The debt to GDP must be reduced. And they very proudly every time they boast and tell you, oh, it was 120%. Now it's down to 90, and it's got, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But those are the issues that are involved that the people need to address and look at.
Lloyd, these issues, the fact that the political class is involved in these issues, how are we going to get them to make these fundamental changes?
Well, we the people are going to have to force them to make the changes and address some of the issues that I have just mentioned. I'll say one thing, and I think I said it on your program the last time, and I'll say it again. You're talking about state of emergency. The Gleaner editorial some time ago said that we have two gangs in Parliament.
Yes.
And the political parties were not able to respond to the Gleaner, the charges of the Gleaner, in any effective way. The state of emergency and the anti-gang legislation gives the power to the security forces to move into any inner city communities, put people in the back of a truck, carry them to a detention center, and then investigate them to find out whether they should be charged or set free.
Yes.
The same thing can be done to the Parliament if you figure the state of emergency give you the right to go and arrest two gangs. And I'm just putting it out there. But what I just mentioned before about Commission of Inquiry and corrupt debt, and also that and people's self-government, community self-government. I mean, those are the kind of things that we have to engage in, and programs like yours to educate people and to encourage people to organize themselves, like in the rural areas. I mean, the rural areas to me are more militant than the urban areas. Because every time you watch TV, boy, the man them out there, them are protest for land, they are protesting against bad roads, they are protesting against school deficiency, and so on and so forth. So maybe we, like the rural areas, we have to become as militant as they are. So it's up to the people. It's for us to decide that enough is enough. When you have elections, 30% of the electorate votes. So that there is a credibility problem where government and political parties are concerned. Because if 70% of the people are voting and there's only 30% vote, and then 30%, and then you divide between the two political parties, then clearly there is a credibility problem.
Yes.
And I just want to say one more point, is that the People's Anti-Corruption Movement is planning a public meeting next week, Saturday, at Liberty Hall at about 2 o'clock. And we intend to discuss all of these issues. We're going to invite a number of organizations to come there, and we're going to discuss landlessness,
Yes.
we're going to discuss corruption, lack of education, and and those kind of things. So I am hoping that those of your listeners who are listening will remember the date, next week Saturday at 2 o'clock. And December the 17th, I will come to Liberty Hall for that public meeting, and then you can participate in it, and we will discuss the strategy and the tactics for people to organize themselves and to put pressure on the system to deal with crime and poverty and all the social issues that I'm mentioning.
On the question of landlessness, you observe how it has been after the bulldozing in St. Catherine.
Yes.
It has been removed from the front pages.
Exactly.
And that is how it has been treated over the years. There is something happens, and then it is highlighted, and then it is now just push back.
Yes.
I know your organization was pushing or have it high on your agenda. Is there anything new you want to tell our listeners?
Well, we will be talking about it on the 17th of December at Liberty Hall, right?
Yeah.
Liberty Hall is down in King Street. I think it is 17 King Street downtown, where Marcus Garvey used to have his organization.
Yes.
But But yes, we can't forget about landlessness because that is a big, big issue. The rural areas are bigger than the urban areas. So as much as we're having problems in the urban areas, we're having problems in the rural areas. And the land is in the hands of a few people. Plus, there's what you call crown lands, which is in the hand of the government. And the crown lands are lands when independence came about. The British monarch said, all right, independence to the crown land here. But there is no plan to redistribute land to make sure that there is, adequate land to people who need land to farm, people who need land to build their houses, etc. So people have to go up into places, go build a house where they shouldn't be building houses. And then we have all kind of problems and so on and so forth. So that is an issue that needs to be addressed as well. And I believe that the people in the rural areas need to organize themselves and to come up with a movement of the landless to demand that if them go and capture some land, they not come there and call them criminal and take bulldozers and mash down them house and all that kind of stuff. Because they are dealing with their social issues. They are not making up billions and billions of dollars like the handful of people who have the land and making money off it. And sometimes they have the land, they're not doing anything with it. But as soon as a man captures a little half-acre land, then, police and bulldozers come and mash up your place and all that kind of stuff. But what are they doing with the land? Nothing. They just have it. I guess it's in their assets, and that's it. So, no, this is a situation untenable. We can't continue with this. We need land for the landless, and we have to develop a movement.
Yeah. Extrajudicial killings.
Extrajudicial killings. Go ahead.
No, that remain a big issue on the agenda because not much is being done to address these matters.
Absolutely, my friend. And we have been agitated. Me personally, I was involved in agitating on behalf of the people in Tivoli Gardens in 2010 and so on. And, so I have a little notoriety for my vigilance where that is concerned. But extrajudicial killings is considered by human rights organizations in terms of international human rights organizations, local as well, but international also, including the United Nations, the State Department, and other places, that extrajudicial killings are policy of state. And there is immunity or impunity, I should say, for these kind of things. So therefore, that has been going on for a very long time. And when the Minister of National Security the other day tell policemen that they must shoot to kill if anybody attack them, and then went as far as to say, if you shoot them and them don't dead, then don't call an ambulance. But you read between the lines. You know what he's really recommended to the police when he goes ahead and say that. Because if you're a policeman and you shoot somebody and you disable them but they're not dead, and you say, well, boy, no, send no ambulance for them, then, you send a very strong message about extrajudicial killings. That is what that's all about. Mm-hmm. And even the Prime Minister, some years ago, on a platform with the leader of the opposition, the then leader of the opposition, Mr. Peter Phillips, said, I think they were at a church thing, said that extrajudicial killings has been used by different governments over many years. He didn't mince words, and he said it. Of course, he was trying to distance his government from it, but he can't. So there is no, it's not like you're saying something and people say, boy, what you're saying. We all know it's a fact. And we know that Indicom is compromised. The district attorney, the director of public prosecution is compromised. And even when we have obvious police killings, very rarely is a policeman charged for extrajudicial killing. And let me just say something personal, right? Last year, in September, I was out in the streets downtown Kingston with the Universal Independent Congress led by Mr. Joseph Patterson, and they were protesting against forced vaccination. And after some time, the police said, clear the area, and the people started to walk away. I was down there as a journalist, filming, whatever it is. That was my function there. And while we were walking away, police just took out a pepper spray gun and pepper spray those of us who were walking away.
Yes.
And I reported the matter to Indicom. Indicom took over 1 year to investigate. Finally, they have come up with a report, and I kept pushing them to give me a copy of the report. They said, no, I can't give it to you until the DPP, rules on it. Mm-hmm. So I finally got the report and the DPP report. And guess what? Their investigation was deficient. And as a result of their deficient investigation, the DPP agree with them. Mr. De Aguilar can file a civil claim, but we don't see the basis for criminal charges. Mm-hmm. And, they list out all the deficiencies. So police extrajudicial killings and abuses like pepper spray and all those kind of things continue because the investigative bodies not doing their work the way in which they should do it, and they get away with it, and impunity and all that kind of stuff. So I'm now challenged now to bring civil action, but my ability to investigate is limited because the police is not going to talk to me. But if Indicom says, I would like to talk to you and ask them the appropriate question, then that can help me or help the prosecutor to prosecute and bring to book those who are using extrajudicial killings and all kind of violence to against the people. So that is where we are. All the systems that deal with the protecting the rights of the people are compromised. They are compromised at all levels. NEPA, Indicom, the Director of Public Prosecution, even the Integrity Commission. Integrity Commission, can't tell us who they're investigating, and we can't have no dialogue with Integrity Commission, and so on and so forth. We just don't know what is going on. So, we have a serious deficit in this country. And I'll say now one more thing, is that those of us who are social investigators and investigative journalists, even McLean and the Observer sometimes mention it, there is a thing called the Access to Information Act. And so you have a right to different public sector companies, ministries, etc. Give me the facts on this or that or that. And trust me, 9 out of 10 times, they don't want to give you the information. Why? Because they are protecting the system. Yeah. So they say, no, we can't give you this information. We can't give you that information. My recent interaction with an arm of the state was with the Ministry of Finance, because under the access to information, I said to them, of the $800 billion that is the budget, $280 billion is paid out as debt. And I said to them, give me a listing, a breakdown of who get the $280 billion.
Yes.
And they don't want to give it to me. But we as the public have a right to know who is getting that $280 billion. And we can do our own investigation as to whether this is corruption or it's legitimate or whatever it is. But they are protecting, the system and how the system works and those who are potentially corrupt. And, we just have to go along and pay the money from our pockets when we shouldn't be doing that.
Lloyd,
yes.
There's one other point.
Yes.
Now, there's no secret that in the communities there are some brutal gunmen.
Yes.
All over the country. Now, and they are not afraid. They are killing people. Now,
mm-hmm.
what from where you sit, how you think they should be dealt with?
Well, as I said before, there is no quick fix solution to that, right? because the security forces don't have the intelligence, even though they pretend that they have intelligence. They don't have no intelligence. The people who have intelligence is the community. They know who the gunmen are. They know where them live, and so on and so forth. But they don't have the power. They depend on the police. And when the police come inside here, even they are subject to police abuses. So I really do believe that it is the people that have to be encouraged. Because I think it was in the 80s or the 70s that they were recommending community policing as well. And I believe that community policing would be far more effective in dealing with it than the soldiers and the police can deal with it, because they are alien to the community. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the people. They can go see a man and you look like a bad man, or you engage in a verbal confrontation and you shoot him and you kill him, or you hear say he's a gunman and you go in there and kill him. Yeah. But given the social conditions, it will keep replicating. In other words, you kill one gunman, but 10 more will emerge tomorrow. And you kill another one, 20 more will emerge. And that is what, it's all about. This is a social situation. And I believe that if we begin to talk to people and say, well, all right, you have a problem, John have a problem with Paul. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let's see, this man is not a threat to you, etc., etc., etc. I believe that those things can be worked out, right? Yes, yes. And businesses are not claiming that, boy, gunman I put pressure upon them for money. We know that sometimes that happens. But it look to me, what I see is that the people have the guns, they still don't have no work, they don't have no education, but this man and that man have a fallout, or that district and this district or community have a little fallout, and so them go there and shoot the gun and thing. Those things can be worked out. We don't have those things going on in Beverly Hills and Cherry Gardens and Barbican and all these other rich places. Everybody is productively employed. They have a job, they have food, they have education. So we need to make the whole Jamaica become Cherry Gardens and Beverly Hills and so on and so forth. That is what we need to aspire to. Mm-hmm. And, we can't fight crime and, destroy the constitutional rights of ordinary people. You have to respect it. You can't fight crime and then you disrespect people's constitutional right to life, liberty, and security of the person. We need that. So that is how we need to do it. I believe that we need community involvement, and we need to move from indirect democracy, where you elect a politician and you don't see him again until 5 years, and that is indirect democracy. But we need direct democracy, where in the community, at the workplace, etc., we begin to articulate what the issues are, what needs to be done, and if we have a credible government in place, they have to respond to what it is that the people are saying and what the people want.
Okay. Lydia, I want to thank you very much for your contribution, as usual.
Yes, I thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Thank you very much.
All the best.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
man. I thank you very much, Desmond. Yes. All the best to you.
Yes, that was journalist Lloyd Aguilar sharing his views on the crime problem and the other social issues in the country which are bearing us down. This is Rebel Radio, and I'm Desmond Richards. You don't shift your dial. Stay tuned.
We island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
it island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
To all the mothers out there, the ones that have passed and the ones who are still here with us, God bless. I remember Mama and the love that she gave. Building had her bedside, I could still hear Mama say, people are the better than you, George, don't you let them down. I remember Mama in the happy way. We went to school with holes in our shoes. We didn't have much, but the Lord saw us through. Mama kept the family together. I remember Mama in the happy way. She packed her lunch in an old greasy bag. Might have seemed empty, but it was full on others' hand. Way deep down inside, I remember Mama in the happy way. I remember Mama in the happy way. Mama is sleeping in the bosom of Jesus Christ. Somehow I know she's smiling at us right now. One day I see her again, a happy harmony. I remember Mama in the happy way. I remember Mama in the happy way. Brothers and sisters, they're living far apart. Although Mama's gone, she's right there in our heart. We're all gonna pull together and stay in the holy place. I remember Mama in the happy way. I remember Mama in the happy way. Grandma, I miss you. Dad, I miss you too. For those of us who lost loved ones, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Lord Almighty. Yeah. Now Mama is sleeping in the bosom of Jesus Christ. Somehow I know she's smiling at us right now. One day I see her again. Happy harmony. I remember Mama in the happy way. I remember Grandma in the happy way. I remember
The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips were pale and I said hi. I knew right there you were the one. But I was caught up in physical attraction, but to my satisfaction, baby, you're more than just a friend. And if I am in love again, I will be sure that the lady is promise you'll never leave me lonely. I just wanna be the one you need. I just wanna be the one to serve you. Sometimes I feel as if I don't deserve you. I'll cherish every moment we share. And if I am in love again, I will be sure that the lead is my friend. If I'm in love so true, I will be sure that the lead is just like you.
Hey baby, even though you break my heart, I still love you, and I always will.
What time is it?
Sorry is all that you can say. Years gone by and still
Yeah, man.
the words don't come easily. Like sorry, like sorry. Forgive me is all that you can say. Years gone by and still the words don't come easily. Like forgive
What
me,
time is it?
forgive me. And you can say baby, and baby can I hold you tonight?
Yeah, man.
And maybe if I told you the right words, ooh, at the right time, you'd be mine. I love you is all that you can say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily. Like I love you, I love you. But you can say, baby, my baby, can I hold you tonight? And maybe if I told you the right words, ooh, at the right time, you'd be mine.
Looks like the sun, it doesn't shine for me. Still I'm living, trying to be free. What freedom is I must I know. No matter how they fuss and go on, because I read these things in prophecy. When the rain stops falling down and they've got no water, they're gonna bow down to the ground, wishing that they were under. And when the stars start falling down and fire's burning red hot, there will be weeping and a gnashing of teeth. Yes, everyone will be mourning. A whole lot of people will be mourning. Everyone will be mourning. Sinners, you will be mourning. Looks like the moon, it doesn't shine for me. Wonder why? I always try to do right in the people's sight. Oh well, but freedom is a must, I know. No matter how they fuss and go on, because I read these things in prophecy. Here is what it says: when the rain stops falling down and they've got no water, they're gonna bow down to the ground, wishing that they were under. And when the stars start falling down and the fire's burning red hot, there will be weeping and a gnashing of teeth. Yes, everyone will be mourning. A whole lot of people will be mourning. Everyone will be mourning. Sinners, you will be mourning. Everyone will be mourning. Oh well.
Out of me, let me come be rum dancer. Out of me, let me come be rum dancer. Beside that, out of me, let me Out of me, make up the rum dancer. Now what? When the Jamaica in a foreign land, and that is like a run the microphone. Why you feel no Mr. the champion? If you want your dance from on, no one take flop. Remember that the tiger make the crowd come back. This and that the tiger, the chatting no stop. Let me hot, they coming in a so out of me, they make up the rum dancer. Out of me, they make up the rum dancer. And when you're standing for the tiger, when you're standing for me, make sure you're standing with me white caddy. Cause you know say that the tiger I can show somebody. And man you know say when me come, me ram party. Right on the stage so shout out to me. In at the ballroom, anywhere you go. Wait at the tiger, with that one and two. No donkey one no water, no hole in Joe. Sunshine Jamaica, I read that it's snow. This one that the tiger coffee, lam lam lam.
You know, someday I believe I will be someone.
Okay.
And I won't stop trying until I succeed. You got a fast car. I want a ticket to get you anywhere. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. Whoa, yeah. You got a fast car. I've got a plan to get us anywhere. Working at a convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get out and finally see what it means to be living. Oh yeah. You see, my old man's got a problem. He live with a bottle, that's ways. He says body too old for working. I say his body too young to looking like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more than life that he can give. I said somebody got to take care of him. So I quit school, that's what I did. Ooh, yeah.
My heart is filled with so much love, and I need someone I can call my own to fall in love. That's what everyone's dreaming of. Always feeling home, so sure life is too short to live alone. When there's someone to call my own, I will care for you, you will care for me. Our love will live forever. Shower me with your love. Shower me with your love that I long for. Shower me with your love. Shower me with the love that I'm waiting for.
Chinese assassin song, the CD Kings.
Bedbook, the world of girl crying man. Bedbook, step up and don't play. Girls of mercy, I am bad, mad, and no wicked in the bed. Wicked man and mad in the bed. I am bad, mad, and no wicked in the bed. Wicked man and mad in the bed. All of the girls go tell the world that I am wicked in bed. Bad man and no wicked in the. All of the girls go tell the world that I am wicked in bed. Wicked man and mad in the bed. I am bad, mad, and no wicked in the bed. Wicked man and mad in a bed. Enough in the bed, me don't want Alfred. Don't want Tony, me don't want Ed. Me not promote mama man, all mama man to dead. Pam pam, lick a shot in a mama man. Head I am mad, mad. And no wicked in a bed. Wicked man and mad in a bed. I am mad, mad. And no wicked in a bed. Wicked man and mad in a bed. Enough in the bed, it is fat and mango. Weak down here and sexy lingo. Go tell the world I am the girl, stay reg. I am mad, mad. And no wicked in a bed. Wicked man and mad in a bed. I am mad, mad. And no wicked in a bed. Wicked man and Chinese assassin.
Yeah. Your love is truly amazing, baby. Baby, 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 baby girl. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is take a look at you. Then I'm not so blue. When you're close to me, I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear you breathing in my ears. Wouldn't you agree? Baby, you and me got a groovy kind of love. A groovy kind of love. A groovy kind of love. Ooh, yeah. Your love is amazing, baby. You know your love is amazing, darling. Love is amazing, girl. When I'm feeling blue, all I have to do is take a look at you. Then I'm not so blue. When you're close to me, I can hear your heartbeat. I can hear you breathing in my ears. Wouldn't you agree? Baby, you and me got a groovy kind of love. A groovy kind of love. A groovy kind of love. Ooh, yeah. Your love is amazing, baby. You know your love is so true to me. You know you never lie to me. Because you're my sweet, sweet lady. You're my sweet, sweet baby.
My love is to the end of time. Time. My love is to the end of time. This magic moment, so different and so new, but like any other. Until I kissed you, and then it happened. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too. Yes. By the look in your eyes, sweeter than a wine, and softer than the summer night. Everything I want, I have. Whenever I hold you tight, this magic moment, while your lips are close to mine, will last forever. Forever till the end of time. Oh, time. Oh, time.
My love is to the end of time.
Time.
My love is to the end of time.
Chinese assassins, the CD Kings.
Ow, 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 ow.
I am Macho Casanova. Me and Romeo and Helen and friends. Can't you see how much I really love you? And I sing it to you time and time again. I ain't much too serious, and I don't wanna let you down. I love, I love, I love, I love you, baby. Don't you know I wanna be your man? So let me love you. Hear you whispering into my days now, baby. Let me love you. Feel your warm body close to me now, baby. Oh yeah. I ain't much on Casanova. Me and Romeo and Karen and friends. Can't you see how much I really love you? And I sing it to you time and time again. Skidibbidoop-doop-doop, doop-doop, skidibbidoop-doop-doop, skidibbidoop-doop-doop. When I my son was in a contest, we lick another song, boy, them have to confess. Here a white shot, who's there? And this is what I heard. Ooh, ain't nobody but a champion sound. Ain't nobody here but us. So calm yourself and stop that fuss. You're kicking up an awful dust. Hey, Jano, my sound is a champion sound. In all other sound, them a come around. Tomorrow is a busy day. We got things to do. We got dub to play. We got a sound to kill and a contest to win. That's why they got to crown us the king. So ain't nobody but a champion sound. Ain't nobody here but us. So calm yourself and stop that fuss. You're kicking up an awful dust. Hey, gentleman, sound is a champion sound. In all other sound, them a come around. Skidibbidoop-doop-doop, skidibbidoop, skidibbidoop.
Yes. We are back again on air. Hello, gentlemen. We are on a program called Food Security. You know, it's this time on Wednesday when we try to. Hello, Mr. Robertson. Mr. Fulton. Hello. Mr. Fulton, are you there?
And the same gentle hands that hold me when I'm broken, they conquered after bringing victory. Yes, I know my Redeemer lives, and I know my Redeemer lives. Let all creation testify. He is risen and alive, and I know my Redeemer. He lives to take away my sins, and He lives forever. I proclaim to protect me from my sin. His most precious life He gave, but now He's alive. There's an empty grave, and I know my Redeemer lives. Yes, I know my Redeemer lives. Let all creation testify. His life is magnified, and I know my Redeemer lives. Oh yes, it lives. I can testify now. Why again? Who taught the sun where to stand in the morning? And who taught the ocean you can only come this far? And who showed the moon where to hide till evening? Whose words alone can catch a falling star? That's why I know my Redeemer lives. Yes, I know. I've looked high and I've looked low. There's no one to compare to you. Climbed to the highest mountain, looked all around, couldn't find nobody. Yeah. Went down into the deepest valley, looked all around, couldn't find nobody. I went across the deep blue sea, couldn't find one to compare to your grace, your love, your mercy. Nobody greater than you. Lord of mercy, searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Lord of mercy, searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Yeah, I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. Looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Yeah. Nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Lord of mercy, nobody greater, nobody greater, nobody greater than you. Climbed to the highest mountain.
Well, on Wednesdays at this time, you know, it's time for us to talk about food security. You know, and as I always say that we, Jamaica, we are in a precarious position when it comes on to our food security, and we have to do whatever is possible to ensure that we'll be able to feed ourselves. We have with us the president of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Mr. Lenward Fulton. Mr. Fulton, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir. And so, you know, this time of the year is a time when we have demand for food. From where you sit, do you see us having any problems supplying, meeting that demand for Christmas food at this time?
Well, there will be a little bit of scarcity, but we will have most of the products that people generally want in this time of the year.
Yes.
But you'll have to pay more for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not like people will be deprived of them. But based on a number of factors beyond our control, one of which is the way how the weather treats us coming into this period. It has created a situation where some of our regular foodstuff will be hard to find this year.
Yes. Like, for example, I see there was a report in one of the newspapers this week, or it was last week, where you were quoted as saying that there could be some problems with eggs. Mr. Fulton?
Well,
yes.
every Easter, and Christmas, we do have a situation where householders buy more eggs because they bake a lot apart from the regular use of eggs in breakfast. They bake a lot for Christmas because children are at home, visitors are coming. So cake is a regular snack type that people would eat with some cereal wine. So you do have heightened demand for eggs during Christmas time.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. And do you see any, as I said at the start of the discussion, that this is a time of the year when we have increased demand for food products. So do you, based on where you sit, do you see any other food stuff that will be in short supply or will be more difficult to access?
Well, yes, most of the vegetables.
Yes.
Lettuce, cabbage, tomato, sweet pepper. Most of these vegetables are going to be in short supply.
Yes.
You will find them, but they are going to be very expensive.
Yes. And you are saying that this is customary. It is not unusual for this to happen.
Well, not unusual, but not at the prices that I'm seeing now.
Yes.
The prices this year are much higher than what we would have had a couple of years back
Mhm.
because of the weather predicament.
Yes. I see. No, sir. This situation. Let us take a look at what is in front of us due to factors, some of which are out of our control. So, for example, the weather, we had no control over that. But social conditions.
Well, although we don't have any control.
Yes, but other conditions, like for example, the war between Russia and Ukraine has put a lot of pressure on food supplies, especially for deliveries. Now, what are the reports you're getting from suppliers for wheat and other imported foodstuff? Are you getting any adverse reports?
Well, with what the war has brought onto us and the backlash of COVID, the grain prices are generally higher now than they would have been 2 years ago.
Yes.
So with one key ingredient into producing chicken and pork being very expensive, then the meat will be expensive. So yes, it does have an impact too.
Yes. And I don't know if you saw this, in the weekend paper, one of the large company, Grace, was saying that it has increased a number of its food products too. Did you see that?
Yes, they generally they move the prices up, and it's one of the things we have to face in this economy because it's not too much of a stable economy. The dollar is pretty stable, but interest rates and other things are not all that what we want it to be.
Yes.
So these companies cannot hold these prices. They're going to pass them on to consumers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So what we can anticipate is not a shortage, but increased prices for foodstuff in this month. That's exactly where we are now.
Yeah, that's where we are now.
Yes, yes. Then, Mr. President, I would imagine that your organization must be looking at strategies how to make sure that we are able to feed ourselves.
Well, indeed, we have to modernize the agricultural production here.
Yes.
Well, we have to get a number of things that have been affecting true growth in agriculture. Land reform is one of them.
Yes.
The difficulty to get affordable financing is another.
Yes.
The lack of proper storage and cold storage is another. And we depend upon a tourism industry to add the demand because it's a small economy. And if you just produce for ourselves, then you're going to have glut too because we can't take off the goods. So we must now invest into agro-processing.
Uh-huh. So that we can export.
Can export and you can slow release this stuff into various markets
Yes.
as the market demand it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just hold your thought for that. We're going to take a break. Just hold your thought on that. We soon be back. We're talking to the JAS President, Mr. Lenworth Fullerton. And this is Food Security, Rebel Radio.
What a mighty God we serve. That's why I am determined to hold on till the end. Jesus is with me, on him I can depend. For I know I have salvation. I can feel.
Does the 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right. Vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up. If we just eat right and get moving, jumping, running, dancing, or skipping, change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right.
Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
Jamaica.
Best decision ever.
Feel the sand between your toes and the gentle waves of the sea on your skin. Feel the warm Jamaican breeze lift your spirits and nourish your soul. Escape to exactly what makes your heart beat. You will love every moment. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world. Let's go.
Don't give up, yeah. Just ride out your storm. Hey, you've been in the storm, and it seems like forever. And your nights of confusion has been so long. Your ship has lost anchor, and the storm that you drifted. Just hold on to Jesus, and ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, but your morning is coming. Lord of mercy, just hold on to Jesus and ride out your storm. Remember his promise. He said, I never forsake you. Though the waters are troubled, well, do you know? Don't give up the battle, for your answer is coming. Just hold on to Jesus and just ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, but your morning is coming. Lord of mercy, just hold on to Jesus and ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, far away. Sweet. Far away. Student home.
Do it for your best life. Do it. Go check your HIV status. Do it. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
Yes, yes, gentlemen. Mr. Fulton?
Uh-huh.
All right. Larry? Hello? Who's that? Mr. Fulton, you are there? Hello? Hello?
The more I try, the more I trust him, the more I love him. There's nothing good for me he'll deny. The longer I know him, the better I can show him. I couldn't stop no even if I tried. He gets sweeter, 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 sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, 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 sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. Yeah. This love is sweeter, sweeter than the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, 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 sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. Yeah. This love is sweeter, sweeter than the days go by. Oh, many saved me, good grace he gave me. Places locked deep down in my heart. Great joy and no.
Yes, back with our discussion on food security. We have the president of the JAS, Mr. Lenworth Fulton, and the president of the agricultural community in Portland, Larry Robertson. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Robertson? Larry?
Yes, yes, man.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Fulton, when we took the break, you were developing the point about what needs to be done in order for us to maintain our food security. You continue, please.
Well, what I said, we need to fix the whole area of land reform. We need to find affordable finance. And we need to develop agro-processing.
Yes.
So those are three of the main areas in which we are lagging behind.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mr. Robertson. Mr. Robertson. Hello, Mr. Robertson? I don't know why we are not hearing him at all. Yeah, are you hearing us? Are you hearing us, Larry?
Yes, I hear you clear, but I can't hear Mr. Fulton.
Yeah. Well, we were on the point about what must be done in order for us to maintain and sustain our food security. You want to comment on that?
Yes, food security, although we have enough food to feed our population and feed our food in storage. So agro-processing is a key factor in this regard. And we are working towards, setting up various system of agro-processing so that we can process canned
store and have enough food. Right? So storage is one of our problems nowadays, man. We don't have the type of storage that is compliant to secure our food. Yeah. So we have international partners that we're really working with. And the president can bear out that we're working in that regard. You can some Canadian partners and some other partners in Britain that we are working on. Right? So food security.
Okay. So, how are they responding to our situation?
We had a meeting in October, World Food Day weekend, the 14th, 15th, and 16th of October, where we have an international seminar, a case. And this international seminar was supported by Purity IQ of Canada and General Discovery. It's about how do we standardize our product and to export those products to Canada that the Canadian compliance system would really allow our produce to come. So they came and they show us what to do in terms of packaging and in terms of how do we apply for recognition from their lab. And then now we have the launch of our AgroFest, which will be on the 28th of January, 2023. And it's about agro-processing now. Also. So we are working towards Portland. We're working towards that long-term strategy for food security. Right?
Okay. So. But you will agree that if you are starting in Portland, but you will agree that when programs like these need to be expanded across the island.
I agree with this, man. But here, my grandmother said, every time must sit on the mountain bottom.
Yes.
So we are starting in Portland, but we are going to put it before the board and the president that we must look at all our parish organizations and let us push the food security and the agro-processing aspect of it. We have to process some of those apples and mango and go over that, go to waste. We drive and see them under the tree. We need to can them, vacuum pack them, and store them so that we can have them for in case of disaster or in case of having food in storage so that we can determine even pricing, right? So I think we are moving in that direction.
Okay. Mr. Fulton, you heard that? Mr. Fulton, you heard what Larry said?
Yes, I did.
Yes. So what is your take on that?
Well, I think it's a good start. And we can build it out from Portland to other parishes.
Yes.
Yes, so it's commendable.
Okay. But I would think that in order to get this going, you have to have what I think is a large buy-in from the farmers. Now, how are the farmers responding to these efforts?
Well, our farmers have been responding well, you know, because remember, what they have been to do is to produce, and it is the 5th quarter now that agriculture has grown.
Yes.
So you can't expect more from them. My view about the farmers, they say if it's ain't break or broke, you don't fix it. So we have a small farmer group that it is well supported by government too. Government uses a lot of their programs to support them. What we need to do is to build another sector of commercial farmers to drive the agro-processing and to drive export and so on.
Yes.
But the small farmers have developed their own small businesses in the type of crops and livestock that they produce for a fresh food market, a fresh food, fresh vegetable market. That's what we have here well developed in Jamaica.
Yes.
And we quarrel about it, but that's what the small farmers develop. So let them keep that, because that is fueling the parochial market, supermarket, sidewalk vendors, week over week.
Yes.
Where we are falling down is that we are not well equipped to do agro-processing with a consistent throughput of supply. So that is the sector that we need to build.
Yes, sir. I see. And therefore, you are saying that we need to develop the high end of the sector in order to accommodate those big agri-processing enterprises. Now,
Yes, Desmond.
yeah.
I think, Desmond, that is exactly where we are to go with it. The high end, because as the president alluded to the fact that there is a growth in the sector, and it's a fast-growing sector, and the small farmers has contributed a lot towards this. So we have no doubt that we can drive the sector.
Mm.
Right? So I think we're working on it.
Yeah. But that sounds as if we need to also develop a plan to attract high-end investors.
Well, yes, we need to do that, but I already said the impediment. Investment is funny, you know. It flow into anywhere there's opportunity.
Yes. Yes. So we therefore, sir, are you saying that we need to create more opportunities in the agricultural sector that would attract high-end investors?
What I would say, to create more an enabling environment and economy for them to come in.
Yes.
They're not going to come here and develop that. They're going to come here and invest.
Yes. So therefore, we have to make the opportunity attractive, so that people will see the opportunity to make money and their make a decent return on their investment.
Indeed.
Yes. So what is the thinking behind that? Who is driving the plan? That sounds as if it would require a private-public sector initiative.
Well, yes. Government have a lot to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
How you get money into a sector, not to give away, but for venture capital and for loans.
Yes. I see. And Larry, what is your thinking on this?
Public private partnership is Well, you know, the private sector have a lot of resources. International investors coming by the diaspora and our partners. So I think we and the president is really pushing a position where our international relations committee look hard and try to encourage investors and partners, agricultural partners from abroad, coming in to help us and build out our capacity, even increase the growth figures beyond what it is now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But gentlemen, let me ask a question. What kind of response are you getting? I mean, from international, apart from the seminars, but I mean, what is the response from international investors and local investors to the farming community?
The response is not very good.
Mm.
Because we have developed an economy to be driven by service, hotel, restaurant, bartending, BPO, financial service. That's what the government tend to go into and tend to do. There is no real plan here to improve manufacturing. And if you have good manufacturing, it will have to be fed from local produce. If not, it's just a screwdriver industry where goods come in and go out just to give cheap labor. So we need a system where you will look on local material and build the requisite incentive that if you take a pumpkin and make it into something that can be exported and used local, then you get incentive through taxation and low interest rate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I have to ask, how is the JAS getting the government to think along those lines?
Well, we put the plan to them. We have lobbied them. We have prepared our farmers, get them at the starting line. They are ready now for government to say go.
Okay. And you said that the response from local and international investors are not encouraging. But what is the response from the government to develop the kind of environment that will attract both local and international investors?
I beg your pardon, but as I said, you have an investment promotional agency in Jamaica called JAMPO. You ever hear they call the name agriculture anymore?
Well, probably they do, and I have not heard.
They are interested in the businesses that I just outlined.
Yes.
The service sector.
Yes.
And they might be right, but if you don't have this sort of promotion by them and government creating the appetite for it,
mm-hmm.
then we are still nowhere there.
Yes. Yes, I can see. So therefore, are we saying then, Mr. President, based on what you have seen and your experience, are we saying then that the government is not creating the environment for us to improve our food security and make it more sustainable. And also, not only that, but to put it on the platform where it becomes a significant exporter and earner of foreign exchange. Are you saying that the government is not looking in that direction?
The government is doing something which is working well with the small farm by using the production incentive program, the tillage program, the tractor program. They provide seed, planting material like Irish potato. They have done a lot, but that is to play to the small farmer group, this group of commercial farmers, which would drive export and agriculture, do not have the same accommodation that we would want to see them have.
Mm-hmm. Mr. President.
There's man.
Yes.
There's man, I'll tell you something. That I think the budget for agriculture must be revisited. And before the rollout of all those incentives for the agricultural agencies, we should be consulted, right? 4-H, RADA, the Jamaica Agricultural Society, and other agencies. You can't be talking about agriculture without talking to these bodies.
Yes.
Can you imagine the PSOJ talking about period last year? And they don't ask the intervention of the other agencies. So I think in other economies, farmers are supported heavily. They are, in some cases, they are subsidized. They have all different types of incentives to farm. We need to tell the powers that be that when you prepare the budget, you talk to us so we can tell you what are the weak points and where you should focus. You don't come and present a budget and then you tell it that this is exactly where we should go. We know where we are going.
Yes.
Right? We just want you understand and that we can help you.
Okay. Yes. Now, gentlemen, in years gone by, we used to produce products which were in demand both locally and overseas. Like, for example, cocoa, coconut. Now, how can we and of course sugar, but I don't think there is any way or the road to go back into sugar production. I think that has been closed. But is there any possibility that we could look at those products that once were the foundations of agriculture in Jamaica? Banana, coconuts, cocoa. Is there any possibility for those products to be revived?
There's definitely, but they need the investment. Right now, we need a cocoa replanting program for probably 10,000 acres of cocoa right now. And the market is there right now. But the investment to do it is not there. Mm-hmm. Farmers cannot borrow money at 12% to plant nothing and to wait 5 years for it to come into full fusion. It doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
When those working, the colonial masters invest in them because they want them in Europe. And the argument you said that sugar is closed. The world is using more sugar now than then because the population is bigger. Sugar is a sweetener for every drink and one of the most known preservatives for drinks.
Yes.
So you can't cut out sugar.
But are we? Do you see us going back to the days when sugar was king?
It might not be king, but you can still do sugar here and make a profit. You see this Christmas, it's on television and all kind of news that you don't have rum. Rum is made from citrus, rum is made from sugar, from the molasses. We are now importing the molasses and kill our own sugar industry. And we are importing the sugar. So we are going in the wrong direction with the suitcase businessman who does nothing but cream off profit. And we can't provide employment for our people. The manifestation of which is crime.
Mm-hmm. So you say that we should be the sugar industry then. In other words, you see the possibility for it to be revived.
Everything that you see already will come right back with the right investor. Mm-hmm. But government has a key role because they own the land.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that if you're going to do, say, 200,000 acres of sugar, you're going to process it in these old monstrosity we call sugar factory that we had in Bernard Lodge and Prom and so forth. The world has moved on. We have not in this country developed a nuclear plant to generate cheap electricity. We are waiting on fossil fuel. And if we continue to wait on fossil fuel, you'll never see a sugar industry again.
Okay. So, Larry, what is your take on that?
I think all agricultural products can be revisited. It's all to do with productivity. Not the amount of sugar that we used to produce on 120 acre land can be produced on less than today. As a matter of fact, we can have vertical agriculture where we get 100 containers and plant the case. So we can get all different types of means of production for any crop that our soil can actually generate. Mm-hmm. And when they speak to people abroad and they speak about our coffee, our ganja, our coconut, our citrus, we know that Jamaica is blessed geographically for hybrid production of certain crops that people appreciate the quality international.
And you raise on that crop there, the ganja crop. It would appear to me, the information coming from that sector right now is not very bright at all. JS President, Mr. President, what you think of the cultivation of ganja?
It sounded good, but it's overregulated. Anything that you overregulate never works well.
Yes.
But it's a possibility that we could do it here and finish the product here and send the medicine to where they want it.
Yes.
You don't have to spend a whole shipload of ganja leaves. So you need to, if you're going to do it, we need to develop a plant to make cannabis oil. that a 44-gallon drum of ganja oil
Yes.
might be the same value as a boatload of ganja itself.
Yes.
So it depends on how we position ourselves to do it.
But you have seen you have seen us in action. What do you think of what has been done so far?
Well, all the report is that the cannabis licensing authority is a failure,
Yes.
and they're not granting the license to small and medium-sized farmers. They have put the business in a way where only rich people can do it. You'll have to get your land. You'll have to use chain link fence and go around it. Put up light there 24/7. Put up guardhouse before you can plant a root. Who is going to have that investment?
Well, it takes money.
It takes money.
Yeah.
And I agree that everything you do takes money. But the report I am getting that the family who lose their loved ones some years ago by getting 2 to 5 years in prison for a little ganja is weeded. Is weeded out of the whole business now.
Yes. Yes. In other words, the original ganja farmers, they are left behind.
They are left behind.
The only thing they can get outside is a prison sentence or a smoke.
No.
Because there's no possibility for them to be involved in this thing, right?
Yes.
I think this ganja thing won't go anywhere until the United States Congress take a decision as to the way forward. Because a lot of small economies are afraid that the U.S. Treasury Department will seize the assets if you are involved in anything with cannabis and ganja.
Yeah, because
at the same time, there are some states that is producing CBD oil and also planting ganja.
Mhm. Yes. Because one of the things is that there are some problems with the financial sector too, because there was a report that banks, are not interested in financing the ganja planters.
That's the point I was making there, man.
Yes.
That the moment you get involved in it, the bank can't touch the money, them can't invest, and the United States Treasury Department will actually lock down your investment, seize your assets if there's any inclination that this is where you're getting the money from.
Yes. So therefore, there are some real impediments in the growth of what can be a very successful income earning activity.
Well, that's not for the small farmers.
Yes.
That's for the big, large farmers that can't support the sort of infrastructure that the president thought was.
Yes.
They have security guard in the place, large perimeter fence, and dogs and all that and things.
Yeah.
Them cut out the small man that suffer, that we want to smoke it in a bucket and punish.
Yes.
And bust inside it. Them outside.
Yes, yes. Gentlemen, we have come to the end of the program. We just want to thank you very much for your input. And this, as you know, this discussion is a continuing one, because we cannot leave out this idea of food security. I want to thank Mr. Larry Robertson and Mr. Lenward Fulton, President of the JAS, and president of the Portland Agricultural Community. This has been Food Security on Rebel Radio. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned. Yes, stay tuned to Rebel Radio.
Hey, it's a girl Shensia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yang, everyone see wear a mask, let the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth, you fi cover up that. Sanitizer, get hospitalized. Fight the virus, then fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause you test say you not have it. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause you test say you not have it. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Yeah. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
the island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
I've had many tears and sorrows, questions for tomorrow. There's been times I didn't know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave me consolation that my trials come to make me strong. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I've been to lots of places, seen so many faces. There were times I felt so all alone, but in my lonely hours, those special hours, Jesus let me know that I am His own. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His words. I thank God for the mountains, thank Him for the valleys, thank Him for the storms He brought me through. 'Cause if I didn't have problems, I wouldn't know that God could solve them. I wouldn't know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. of death. I'll fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff that comfort me. Those wicked will come upon me to eat up my flesh. They will stumble and fall. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to put my trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend upon His word. Trust in Jesus. Learn to trust in God. Through it all. Lord have mercy.
The hits just keep on coming.
What is
We got more hits for you, so stay tuned. Your music, your request.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio. Are still playing commercials. Meanwhile, here's another hit. Your day sounds better with your music and your station playing on the background.
Yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet. Good friends we have, oh, good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say. And then no woman no cry. No, never gonna woman no cry. No woman no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit. Was a government yard in Trenchtown. And then Georgia would make the firelight as it was logwood burning through the night. Then we would cook cornmeal porridge, of which I'll share with you. My feet is my only courage, so I've got to push on through. But while I'm gone,
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep we
eat.
island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
All things are possible if you only.
Yes, yes, yes. We are going to be talking now to the president of Schools Agricultural and Allied Workers Union. You know, we always want to know what is going on at the workplace. Mr. Comrie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Now, a lot of discussion has been taking place over that the negotiation between the public sector workers and the government. I saw where you signed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have signed it because after I have a meeting with my executive.
Hold a second. Hold a second there. Hold a second there. I want to take I want to go back to this. I want to take a break. I want to get St. Patrick's Ennis online with you, right? Just so don't move. Hold a second.
So clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep we
eat.
island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Lord, I've got to say to you, I'm so tired of living a humble and country life. When you were attracted to the bright city lights, you had a lot of money to spend on pretty girls and lovely things, just living it up as if you were a king. You had a whole lot of friends that you treated a vintage boy, but when the money went out, they didn't stick around this time. There was a famine on the land, and you didn't really have a dime, so you had to.
Yes, gentlemen. Mr. Comrie?
Yes.
Yes, we have St. Patrick's Ennis has joined us, your colleague. Gentlemen,
Okay.
Gentlemen, you know, as I said at the opening of this discussion, that the negotiation between the government and the unions over public sector wages and other benefits. Some unions have signed on to it, and others have not. You were saying, Mr. Comrie, you were giving us the reason why you signed.
Right. After reason with my executive and the delegates them that we have, they said, go ahead and sign it because you're not going to get better from this government. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Confederation make a mistake from the beginning. After we have similar problem before, we should not allow the president of the Confederation to lead the negotiating team. Because we have that problem before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if we did take heed and said, no, we're not going to have her to lead the negotiation, it would run different. Plus, the negotiating team did not take the duty to have a proper negotiation ahead. They just take what the government said.
Mm-hmm.
The government passed a thing. A lot of us didn't agree with it, right? And so forth.
Mm.
But they accept it, and since 5 of them accept it, I just take the task and said, I will follow and accept whatever. And my delegates them decide and said, take it and done. And the next time you are going to negotiate, you don't negotiate with no president of the Confederation to lead the negotiation. And I said, yes, because it always brings a problem when you have the president of the Confederation to carry the discussion. We must select different people. Yes, it is a problem. Yes, even the payment is a problem now. And we have to wait until when everything finish in January, we deal with it and have it resolved.
St. Patrice, what is your take on what your colleague said a while ago?
Well, it is indeed the case, historically, that the president of the Confederation did not lead the negotiations with respect to public sector entities or on public sector entities or the public sector negotiation. But the fact that there wasn't any objection this time around, I don't think we should be saying that she should not. Well, I believe we could have objected. I think our silence must have been read as acquiescence, if not indeed overt approval. So I do not believe that that we should be talking about that. That is done, and there was no. Well, I did not hear any objection being voiced in any of the board meetings that I had attended. So it is not. I don't want to look at it and say she should not be there when she could only be there if we had acquiesced to her being there as the leader. So I have a different take on that and see it as something that we did not object to.
Yeah.
So that's not my issue, really.
Yeah.
With respect to other things mentioned in terms of how it was conducted, and you would have known by now that our union is one of the unions that is led to append its signature to that document. Although I have respective bargaining units within the public sector that have given their approval for us to sign the heads of agreement, while some have not. And those who have their own individual agreement that want the union to have an agreement with the government or sign that agreement. The union, of course, would operate according to the instructions or the mandate of those respective bargaining units. But there is, as I said before, there's indeed some that are not at that stage yet because they have outstanding matters.
Yes.
But with respect to the agreement that the Confederation of Trade Unions signed, well, the Confederation did not sign. They began by negotiating, and then individual unions signed an agreement. That, to me, should not have been a proper course of conduct, because if you begin as a body and you are unable to reach some agreement by your 50%, by over 50% of your members agreeing, then you ought to work harder to get that agreement. And if you can't, then make somebody else do it. But you can't split the thing in the middle during the course and say that you're going to abandon the Confederation and you're going to sign your own agreement. That is abdicating your role as leader of the Confederation. For in that moment, you have left the Confederation leaderless. Because you would have signed for your individual union, which now would have compromised your position to lead on behalf of the Confederation, where at that time the majority of unions were not signatories or did not express the sentiment that they would be signing on to the agreement. So once you did that, then and the majority did not sign, then you would have left the Confederation without any leaders going forward. And so it has made the whole situation factious. And so to go on to this phase 2 of the negotiation with the Confederation, that is a sticking point, because we don't know if the same steps will be adopted. That okay, you don't have a majority agreeing, but you're negotiating on everybody's behalf, but the majority is not agreeing. So when the majority is not agreeing, if you get what you get for your group, then you're going to abandon the process and sign. We can't have it that way.
So tell us exactly, tell our viewers and listeners right now, Mr. what is the position with the Confederation as it relates to this negotiation? Because some unions have signed. What is the status?
I don't think anybody really knows. Keith is one who has signed, so perhaps he knows, but I don't. But I can assure you that those of us, particularly those who were necessarily a part of the negotiating team and who felt that there were other matters to be resolved, I am not comfortable with doing the same thing over. the same thing that led to us being in the situation that we are now in. There must be the same kind of result that we find ourselves now in.
Mm-hmm.
So I am not sure what the answer is to that question. Maybe Keith, who is more like-minded, in terms of, maybe he can answer that better than me.
Well, the Mr. UAW, Mr. Clifton told us that the unions which did not sign are preparing a letter to be sent to the Minister of Finance.
That is so.
So has that been done?
Well, that is in the process of being done. I think that will be done by now and tomorrow.
Okay. Mr. Comrie, you care to answer what is the status of the...
What it is not that you accept what the Confederation has done. We ask for a face-to-face meeting with the president and the negotiating team. And whenever we get that, there we will have to discuss and straighten out some of the problems and make sure that we don't make the same mistake again. Because if you make one mistake, two mistakes, you're not going to sit around and have a third mistake. So that is what will happen. And we hope that in the future, we must set the stage that in the future, we don't make that mistake and make it happen again.
But whatever has been signed will that is for 3 years. They agree. Whatever. That is for 3.
The most thing that has been signed for the next 3 years is the salary of 17.5.
And that is over a 3-year period. That 17.5 is over a 3-year period.
Right. That is benefit.
So that is about
the 5 benefits still remain that to be discussed, and when this meet in February, we will discuss it and make sure
some of the benefits are to be discussed. That we have a new leaders in the negotiating team that will look on it and continue the discussion with government.
But
for some of the benefits them.
Yeah. It is also my understanding that those leaders, employees who are at the higher end are going to be getting increases in the region of 200% over the period.
Yes.
That is like the permanent secretaries and those senior officers. Huh?
They won not about 200, about 100%.
160.
150.
So therefore, that increase, which has been arrived at, will also go on to the ministers and the members of parliament. Am I right?
We don't sure.
No, we are sure.
But
the minister's salary is tied to the permanent secretary's salary.
Right. Of course.
They will get about 100 and something.
Right? So
they will get the same percentage increase.
Yes. So therefore, those at the lower end will end up with just over 5% per year, while those at the upper end are going to be seeing some significant increases in their pocketbook.
Right.
Gentlemen, before we just hold on for me. I want to take a break, please. This is Rebel Radio, and we are talking to trade unionist St. Patrice Ennis and Keith Comrie.
Evening news for Wednesday, December 7. Coming up, Health and Wellness Ministry's charitable arm to be expanded. 25,000 PATH students to receive laptops. And NSWMA signs MOU with HNL for Jomedy Gate initiative. The news in detail after the break.
Spread love and joy this Christmas. Gift a child in state care through the CPFSA's Grant a Wish and Take a Child Home for the Holiday programs.
To grant a wish, visit CPFSA's website at childprotection.gov.jm, select a wish, purchase, and drop off gifts at CPFSA's parish offices.
If you're 25 years and older with a suitable home to accommodate a child or children, you may qualify for our holiday program. Submit an application, 2 references from a Justice of the Peace, and 2 passport-size photographs.
All gifts and applications must be submitted by December 9 at 3 p.m.
Call any CPFSA office or visit our website for more details.
Spread the love and joy this Christmas!
Now the news. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has given approval for the expansion of the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Health for Life and Wellness Foundation. The foundation is the vehicle through which persons and organizations can make health-related donations to Jamaica. Addressing Tuesday's ceremony to reopen the Chapelton Community Hospital in Clarendon, Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton noted that the Finance Ministry's approval will facilitate additional staff and outreach activities.
Public health, like education, can't survive if we do not have a philanthropic arm, if we do not benefit from the goodwill of others. And there are so many well-thinking Jamaicans who want to give, but we need to create a vehicle for them to give. And we need to reassure them that in giving, the benefits flow to those who it was intended to benefit.
Dr. Tufton says the reopening of the Chapelton Community Hospital is proof that the system works. The National Solid Waste Management Authority NSWMA and Hardware and Lumber HNL have signed a memorandum of understanding to facilitate the provision of garbage receptacles across the island. Under the agreement, 200 drums will be distributed per month for 12 months to select communities under the initiative dubbed Jomedy Gate. The move is part of efforts to help Jamaicans to properly containerize garbage.
Having adequate amount of receptacles strategically placed provides an option for those who wish to do the right thing. And this new signing will give us added legs in that push. We'll be more equipped with more drums so that we can adequately serve you.
Executive Director of the NSWMA, Audley Gordon, speaking earlier today at the MOU signing ceremony at the agency's headquarters in Kingston. A total of 25,000 students on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH will receive tablets during the 2022-23 academic year. This was announced by Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams while speaking at an Education and Transformation Oversight Committee e-talk press conference at Jamaica House on December 1.
15,000 laptops were provided to students on PATH, 8,000 teachers to receive laptops in this academic year, 25,000 tablets are to be provided to students on PATH, 720 desktop computers for 25 of our secondary schools. Those are being provided by Overseas Examination Council, and 10,000 laptops are being procured by e-learning to build out the ICT labs in high school.
Mrs. Williams added that the ministry is committed to providing technological support to enable both teachers and students to achieve the desired educational outcomes. And the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the Heart NSCA Trust, and the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association are inviting Jamaicans to a tourism and hospitality job fair being staged at the Montego Bay Convention Center on December 8. Director of the Jamaica Center of Tourism Innovation, Carol Rose Brown, says the job fair, which begins at 8:30 a.m., is the final component of the agency's job readiness program, which seeks to help participants connect with employers in the hospitality sector.
The Ministry of Tourism, through the Tourism Enhancement Fund and our local and international partners, are attempting to help the sector identify people available for the many jobs which we are told are going unfilled. The hope is that at the end of the program, the certification program, we will then put them in front of employers who are interested in getting them employed in their institutions.
Ms. Brown was speaking in an interview with JIS News. Interested persons should walk with their job readiness certificate along with any Heart NSTA Trust qualification to the event. That was JIS News. I'm Andrew James Sawyers.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Yes. Welcome back to our program. We're having a discussion with trade unionists St. Patrice Ennis and Keith Comrie. Gentlemen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Keith? It's Comrie. Has he gone? Anyway, we were at the point where we were discussing the situation now as it stands with the negotiation. And Keith was saying that further discussions. Mr. Ennis, I want you to know that the president told us, president of the Confederation, told us on this program that a meeting was supposed to be held that was somewhere in November or October. She was unable to attend the meeting. And that is a meeting where some decisions were supposed to be taken for the meetings with the ministry. She was unable to attend the meeting. However, those who were the leaders of the negotiation, and I understand you were one member of the negotiating team, were told to hold the meeting and have the discussion. But up to when the decision was taken that some unions would sign, the meeting was not held. Do you know about that?
No, I'm not aware of that, and I was never a member of the negotiating team.
Oh, you was never?
I'm not familiar with that team.
Okay. All right.
And that can be easily checked whether I was a member or not, because I couldn't be doing it in secret.
No. If you say you're not a member, I don't think I need to check it, because.
No, I'm not speaking to you, Derek. I'm speaking. I recognize that you have an audience.
Yes, of course.
So I'm speaking.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking publicly.
Yeah, Mr. Comrie. Mr. Comrie. Keith seems to have left us.
Might have lost it.
Yeah. But
right, so I'm not aware of that.
Yes. Yes.
So there's none.
But where you sit now, it would appear, you see, as if right now there is some discord in the amongst the Confederation members. The fact that the president made it clear that he didn't sign as the Confederation, he signed as president of Jalgo. Now, that signing has left some bitter taste in the mouths of some of the union leaders, and I think it is if it is not addressed properly, it can have a negative impact on the Confederation. What do you think about that? Hello? Mr. Ennis? We have a little technical issue. Let us take a break and sort out ourselves.
Oh, you're hearing me now?
Yes,
Sorry.
okay, hold on.
Okay, I had muted myself. Sorry.
Oh.
Right.
Yes.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
Yes, I am saying yes, that can pose a problem if it is not resolved in a proper way. This whole episode of signing as an individual union when you're the president of the confederation and the majority of the confederation, which is how the confederation makes a decision, the majority of its members have not given approval for the confederation. So you sign as an individual member while you were leading the negotiation on behalf of the confederation. You didn't go into the meeting, into the negotiation as Jalgo. You go into the negotiation as the president of the it's not a it's not an individual union. It wasn't an individual union agreement. You went in as a confederation. You went in as the president of the confederation. We know how we take decisions in the confederation by a simple majority. And you were at a point wherein you had no agreement or no instructions or mandate from the confederation. You cannot just abandon the confederation and say, well, no, I'm going to revert to that rule and I'm going to sign on behalf of my union. And so where does that leave the confederation, who at that time is going to continue the negotiation process on behalf of the confederation? I mean, how does that work? I don't know if we had given, if people given that proper careful consideration, but I'm sure everybody there who's listening can see a problem with that, because if the confederation is not giving its approval for it to sign, then what is required is that there needs to be further discussion and persuasion to get the confederation to that point. If you can't do that, then you obviously you're unable to bring the confederation to a point of leadership, and what do you do in that case?
Yes. So let me ask another question. Is it that point you made there a while ago? I would imagine that has been shared among the members who have not signed. Is that? We
haven't met since that time.
Okay.
Confederation has not met for such views to be aired.
Okay. So is there?
Because I am quite prepared. If I'm saying it here, I am prepared to say it anyway.
So is there a meeting planned for?
I am not aware of it.
Okay. So therefore, what
I am saying,
yes,
is not something that is meant to be denigrating or to be, What I am saying is how I believe most people would understand how a body should operate.
Yes.
And I'm willing to hear a view to the contrary. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if it can go another way. It is the body that went in. Now, I can understand individual union saying, hey, I'm going to pull out of the confederation and go and make an agreement on my own because I don't like this. I can understand that. But your president can't do that.
Yes. I see what you are saying. I not only
can't do that.
Yeah, when
you have to lead the confederation that you charge. If you're not doing it, you're not doing it, and we can't stop you.
Right.
Right. But that so I think that is a legitimate issue to have, and a legitimate discussion to have, in terms of how we should proceed on matters like these.
And for a matter which I think is of an important issue for the trade unions is that why is, in other words, don't you think that a meeting among the leaders is of importance before the end of the year?
Yes, but I think it has been called, but for some reason, and I'm not suggesting there's any sinister reason. I'm not suggesting that at all. But it has not happened. And I understand, it is this time of the year, and many things happen at this time of the year. Yeah. But it has not been caught.
Yeah. But another question, before Mr. Comrie, Mr. Comrie, before he left, he said to us that he was instructed, or he took his cue from his members. Now, I would imagine that the president also said that, right? Now, I would imagine that those unions who signed, they would advance similar argument. Now that their members instructed them that, listen, sign for us to get some money for Christmas. Now, how should, in those circumstances, how you think leaders should respond? You said you got some instructions from some of your unions, but others were not.
Right, and if the union membership, obviously unions operate by the mandate of their members. But one of the things as a confederation that we were supposed to do, while we have joint negotiation, this is the objective. It is a union, right?
Yes.
Union. We know what that means. That means you join together.
Yes.
You form a confederation. That means there's an umbrella. It's an umbrella organization of trade union. That means they come together. The reason why you do that is to make your collective bargaining power be stronger.
Yes.
Right? So, if you're having many more people, thousands, tens of thousands of people involved in this negotiation process, then you're going to have multifarious views on how items should be treated, because it would affect different groups and different individuals. Just affect them differently. So, but one of the things we were trying to do by having a confederation, having a joint negotiation, is to say, look, while we may have been satisfied up here, our brothers on the other side are not satisfied, and so we are going to band together to try and do the best to see how we can get the thing to a position that they can be satisfied or some compromise with, and vice versa when the shoe is on the other foot.
Yes.
That's how it works. Mm-hmm. It can't be, or it should not have been, that, okay, we are here, so it's all right, and we abandon everybody. Then that's not how unions should have operated. And so it is also as leaders now who are to say, look, the brothers over there have an issue, and they should be made of or be conversant with what those issues are, and so on, and be able to say, well, we are going to try to do this to make them reach a point where the thing is satisfactory. That should be our objective. But I will hasten to say that is the workers' decision to make. If they don't want to do that and they have instructed their union officers, say, look, we don't want to be a part of that, then of course union officers, they are obligated to follow the instructions of their workers, yes, or their members.
Yeah. Well, you care to say if there has been any, let me say, if you have had discussions with any of the other leaders since they signed into place?
Yes, I've had. And as I've said, I have different groups within the public sector.
Yes.
And some have indicated that they are satisfied now that we are not negotiating as a confederation. It's an individual union thing or what have you. Some have indicated that they are prepared to accept what the government has offered. And for those members, I'm prepared to append my signature to their agreement.
Yeah.
There are others who say they are not. And in that case, we will continue to have the discussion to iron out what those problems are.
Yes.
But those are individual agreements for different bargaining units in the public sector. That is not the groups that came under the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Union umbrella.
Okay.
These are separate groups. I mean, whether it is well, I don't want to name any particular group, but, just a different category of worker. And they have their own individual agreements in the public sector. And if they instruct me, as some have, as I have indicated, that they are ready, then of course the union officer is obligated to follow suit.
Okay. But
because we operate under the instruction that we take instructions or our mandate from our membership. That's what we do.
This letter that is being prepared from for the minister, it is going to be coming from the trade union organization, though. It is not going to be signed by individual unions.
Well, it won't be coming from the Confederation of Trade Unions. That is, I mean, it could be signed by the respective unions who are interested in such a meeting. But you remember, there are other unions who don't have any issue and they have signed.
Yes.
This is for the ones who have not signed that agreement. And I suspect because they have not signed and they have issues, they are seeking a meeting jointly with the minister, and that is fair and reasonable.
Yes. Then what is going to happen? Mr. Comrie was telling us, it's a pity that he left before, because he raised a point that payments, some payments, in other words, that was my understanding. I want it to be clarified. You heard when he said that some payments would not be made before Christmas. You heard that? Did you hear him say that?
Well, I don't recall hearing him saying that, but that doesn't mean that he didn't say it. I don't know.
Yes.
But with respect to payment, the government is trying to make the payment for those who have signed before Christmas. Okay. That is what also have, I would say, encouraged many workers to want an agreement at this time.
Yes.
Because as you know, times are hard.
Yes.
Inflation is high.
Yeah.
And persons, would want some relief.
Of course.
And so if there is some retroactivity coming, they want to get over this hump. And that has influenced some people, as other things might have influenced them. But the government, I understand it, is trying to make the December payment, which is this month, as much as it can. I don't know if it would be successful in all entities, but that is its aim and objective.
And so, is it your understanding also that the agreement covers only the salaries, and therefore certain fringe benefits would be are still to be? That is not.
It's not only the salaries. The agreement have absorbed certain benefits, like it has absorbed all transportation allowances except mileage.
Yes.
Which is reimbursable. Because you can, until you travel, and the distance you travel, you do not know how much it is and what to pay.
Yeah.
So those will be reimbursed after you do travel. But things such as motor vehicle upkeep or transportation allowances in general, those things will be absorbed. Things like discomfort allowance, those things will be absorbed. Things like location incentive, those things will be absorbed. So there are some allowances, things like qualification increment. Those things are will no longer be payable That is the term the ministry uses. No longer be payable. When I say absorbed into salary, So, and you have some other matters such as uniform, such as meals, such as those kind of benefits, tuition grant, those kind of benefits, leave, whether vacation and so on, over time. Those things the government want to have discussed next year to include them into some kind of agreement. They want a general overtime policy, what they call an omnibus overtime policy, to treat with all overtime within the public sector. I don't know. I am not in favor of that. I say that right now. That can't be in the interest of the workers, as far as I'm concerned. And if left to me, I don't want any more things to be absorbed.
Yes. What about allowances? Public servants were entitled to this.
Well, some allowances will continue. Acting allowance will continue. Some allowances will continue. I say you get your reimbursables, but the government want to minimize or what we call rolling or absorb many of these things into salary, so that they account to them, so that you have a more equitable system. I see it as a way of the government over time paying less.
Okay, yes. And what is your take on the fact that, under normal circumstances, those salaries, those employees who are at the upper end, their salaries would have to be higher than those at the lower end. But it sounds lopsided to me. That
it is lopsided. Okay. It is lopsided, and they have never really given me, never asked the question, what compensation philosophy is guiding our compensation review structural system that exacerbate the pay gap between top and bottom. What is our objective here? That the pay gap between top and bottom has expanded rather than contracting. And particularly at a time when it is difficult to diffuse the difference between top and bottom or the various categories or job functions, because we are now more in a service-oriented society, leaving out the technical people. So I am yet to receive an answer that would satisfy me in that regard. I also speak about how you're now putting things into people's salary, absorbing some of the allowances into people's salary. It's not that you're paying more, you're just putting it into the salary.
Yes.
So when it now comes into salary,
it attracts
then
taxes.
They will know exactly. Not only do they attract taxes, but there are people who are below the threshold, are now above the tax threshold, which has not been moved since it was put in place. So it is not offering the same protection now as it was meant to be when it was put in, right? So those people now don't reach the threshold. Threshold has not moved. It is not of the same value. And so that, to me, is putting people at a disadvantage. When some of these things are an allowances, at least they'll get the money and they will be below the tax threshold. You roll it in, you don't move the tax threshold, so you're going to tax the people then now.
Yes.
as well as taxing non-taxable allowances. I mean, so I don't know.
For example, rolling in those allowances that were non-taxable, they are now taxable, and therefore let me ask the question. So how does that fit into the argument that the negotiation, one of the points that came up early was that at the end of the negotiation, no worker would be getting
worse off.
Yeah, worse off.
Mm-hmm.
But in practice now, I see some gaps, some huge gaps, which will make some workers worse off than where they were before. Or if not that, others will be in a better position.
Yes, right, and some will be work out better than some. But yes, that is the slogan bandied about, that nobody should be worse off than at least a minimum increase of 17.5%.
Yeah.
Over the 3 years. That is by 2025.
Yeah.
Which is an average increase of 5.83% per annum over the 3 years. But that is 17.5% net pay.
Yes.
That is the objective. That is what they are stated. But you would agree with me that but that is a minimum. But you would also agree with me that if that is where you end up after all of this, then you wouldn't have really fared well in this whole process.
Yeah. Listen, because
you know where inflation is.
Yes.
All of your monies are now taxed.
Yeah.
And right, so and also we have a problem with people signing now. It means that my understanding is that although the government say they won't be clawing back or won't be recovering some of the monies retroactively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how the government is going to do that by not recovering some of the money retroactively, because the effective date is April 1. So if you're still getting these things, some of the benefits now, then I expect the government to recover some of it. If some of the allowances have been absorbed and everything come into effect April 1, and you're still getting it now, then I think the government is going to take back that money.
Let us continue this discussion Monday, right?
Not a problem.
Because I tell you what, this is a discussion that won't go away easy. We want to thank you very much for your contribution.
Well, it's about 10% of the Jamaica labor force, the public sector workers.
Okay. And we want also to thank the President of the Union of Schools, Agricultural and Allied Services, Mr. Keith Comrie. Yes. So thank you, St. Patrick's, and thank you, Keith. We'll continue this on Monday. This is Rebel Radio.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, we have come to the end of our program for today, and we want to thank all our guests and our technical operator, Bishop.
According to Merriam-Webster,